a few moments ago. Here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
First carry for Peyton Barber. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 23-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Barber. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
QB's traps. Let's go. Check 43.
They go play action. Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. So in Saints territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Working out of the gun, Winston. That's caught. It's Peyton Barber. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run the toss to Barber. And he winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And this one is right down the middle. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Their own 22-yard line.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Kamara. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
Now Taylor. And he finds Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. Matt Gay on for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early, as they've got it 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Being chased at, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Devin White in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
To try again after the sack. Taylor got an open man. It's Foster. Touchdown, New Orleans. Robert Foster, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Will Lutz on for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now.
Makes the score Buccaneers 10, Saints 7.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded at the 2. Now a hit and a loose football.
How many times in the course of a game do you talk about momentum plays? And I think we just saw one there. Just scored, right?
Just took the lead.
Just took the lead, went downfield, got the ball free again, and picked it up. They got a chance to really get the momentum on their side now.
Yeah, now they'll try to pile on. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
On 2nd and 9, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter.
Ready? Blue 80. 50. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. So we got man. Flip. Let we go.
Barber on 1st and 10. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, Winston. This goes to Barber, the running back. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Back to the running game with Barber. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. That was shades of Tennessee volunteer football back in the 80s with Charles Davis coming up from the secondary to make the tackle for a loss.
You mean my teammates doing that, right? Because they would tell you, my coach would say, where's that tape? I want to see that. But how about the complete package there? Not just playing the pass, but being a willing tackler and making a really nice play.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
It's a gain of 16, 1st down Tampa Bay. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
On 1st and 10, Winston looking for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Jameis to throw it. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range, so now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Now Winston. This will be dumped off to Barber. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting? Rush coming, and he's taken down. Vita Vea in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards to pick up there.
Here we go. Here we go. Tell me ending. 54. I got you. I got you. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Gets around him. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now a pass hauled in downfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Try to pound it in, Kamara. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. To throw is Taylor. Buying time to his left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now it's Taylor, eluding the pressure right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission? Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Wait.
Play action now, Winston. And his throw here's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Here's Winston. And the pressure gets to him again. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 52 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Devin White picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now it's Taylor. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Here we go. Here we go. 60 out low. Big one truck. Me and you on deck. On deck.
From the gun, it's Taylor. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. There on the coverage, knocking that one away was Mike Edwards.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the right. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Escaping the pressure right. And this one caught by Cameron Braid. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Fielded just inside the 20. Gets past one man. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, New Orleans. Covered a lot of ground there, 81 yards on the punt return. And the Saints have taken the lead.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they miss-hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. From the gun, here's Barber. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on standing under double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off, and try and chip someone at the second level.
Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Winston. Open man is Howard, the tight end. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. Winston now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To throw, Winston. And this is caught by Evans. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. He got 29 yards that time.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Vic Beasley making it look easy, cruising in for the sack. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 2nd down, it's Barber. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. 3rd and goal, Winston. 4th. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 40. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. And just as they thought they might be able to take that across and get the lead, a big red zone turnover.
I know that I am defense-centric, and I want to give them a whole lot of credit, but I just can't believe after that drive, in that position, ball security paramount, they turn the ball over. Terrible.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
At the Buccaneers' 5-yard line.
Now Taylor. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Jordan Leggett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Now this throw caught left side. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
They give it off here to the tight end. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
50's the mic. 50's the mic. I don't even know why.
On second down now, it's Barber. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On third down, Winston. This is brought in by Gibson. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help him a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Devin White able to record his 5th sack of the season.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
The open man is Smith. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
I know you felt that one. I know you felt that one.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Dancing to his left. Taylor hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Chris Godwin, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. They'll try and run it in. And he's not going to get there. The defense able to come up with a big stop, and they're going to hold on to their 2-point lead. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Ready?
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. In on the stop, Vernon Hargraves. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And this one complete to Smith. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, New Orleans. Traquan Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
They do tack on the extra point as well, and it might seal the deal as that makes it a 2-score game here with not a lot of time remaining. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Winston to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
4th down, Winston. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 30-yard line.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. So time to start going in the other.